So you own a lawn-related business and you're thinking about selling in the near future. Well, my name is Jim Parker. I've been helping people sell businesses for nearly 25 years, and I specialize in lawn-related businesses. Well, today I wanted to go over the 10 main components that buyers look at when they're looking to acquire a lawn-related business. Now, these 10 things are not necessarily in order, but they're 10 things that I think you should know right off the bat. And so let's begin. Number one, they want to know what your recurring revenue is. We've talked about this in a couple different videos, but recurring revenue is going to be one of the first questions that they're going to ask. What can they expect to be receiving on a monthly basis as far as recurring revenue? What is that made up of? And how consistent is it going back? Second thing that they're going to be looking at right off the bat is the profitability of the business, how profitable your business is. We did a whole video not too long ago about financials and how critical financials are when you're selling your business. I urge you to go back and watch that video because it is very, very important. But the big thing that you should be taking away from this is reduce any non-business expenses that you're running through the business and get rid of them and make your business as profitable as it possibly can be, and only show true expenses that the business has. And any cash that you might be receiving, make sure that you're reporting that. But I'll let you watch the other video. Another thing is obviously the route density. Being in the industry, how important it is that your routes are as condensed as they possibly can be, because that's where you can maximize your profits, because your labor force is spending less time driving between accounts, and they're spending more time hitting as many accounts as they possibly can. And so the more condensed, you realize this, the more condensed your accounts are, the more profitable you're going to be. Obviously, buyers are going to be looking at that as well. They want that to be as condensed as it possibly can as well. Long-term employees is critical. Again, we did a whole video on this and how important employees are when you want to sell. And employees can affect the sales price of your business, and they can affect the terms that you're receiving. So make sure you go back and watch that video. Big takeaway in that is that you want to have employees that are long-term employees with your business. If they're seeing that there's a lot of employees being turned over and over again, that gets them kind of concerned. They're thinking maybe the business isn't well operated or it's not well run. So that's a big thing. Obviously, having key employees is going to be critical as well. All right, moving on to number 5. I think we're number 5. Yes, number 5, long-term customers. The more long-term customers you have, the better it's going to be for the buyers, the better they're going to view it. So, if you're constantly, not keeping a very good retention rate with your customers, I would look at that and try to create a scenario where you're giving them better service and you're making sure that your customers are staying with you. If they're seeing that you're constantly turning over customers, again, they might think that you're not providing good service or not running a good business, or both. So number 6, this kind of goes on to what we were talking about before when we were talking about recurring revenue, but this is going down to the how clean your financials are. And I kind of already touched on that. Just make sure that your financials are clean as they possibly can be. Don't be running personal expenses through the business, and make sure that your financials are well organized. So, that you've got monthly profit and loss statements, you got monthly balance sheets, bank statements are saved, merchant service statements are saved, save invoices, all that. You're going to want and need that when you go through the due diligence process, because buyers are going to be asking for that kind of information. And the more organized you are with all that information, the easier it's going to be for you once we go under contract as well. Seasonality. What does a season look like? They're going to want to know that. What do the slow seasons look like? How do you attack that? You continue making revenue. What does that revenue look like? If you're in a colder state, are you doing things like snow removal? Are you setting up holiday decorations, things like that? In the warmer states, you might be picking up mulching jobs or other jobs getting ready for the spring, but they're going to want to see what it looks like during the slower months from a labor perspective, what you're doing and how you're doing it. They are going to want to make sure that you're complying with all licensing and legal issues. So make sure you're taking care of that situation. Make sure that if your employees should be W-2, that you're not having them as 1099. That makes the business a lot harder to sell. just make sure all the way around you don't have any legal issues. Get all those legal issues taken care of before you sell the business. That's a critical thing. We did do a video about talking about W-2 and 1099 employees. So if you want to watch that video, please go over there and watch that. And they're also going to want to know how well maintained your equipment is and what kind of a shape it is. So, do you have a mechanic on staff? Maybe you're big enough where you do, and they're taking care of your equipment, your two-cycle equipment. They're taking care of your mowers, even your vehicles. Fantastic. If you're on the smaller side, who are you using to take care of that equipment? How dependable are those people that are taking care of it, and how well just how overall, what condition is that equipment in, and how well are your employees taking care of it? They are going to zero in on that. They're going to be looking at it and going, oh my gosh, if I buy this business, am I going to then have to turn around and invest a lot of money to replace a lot of the equipment because it's not in good condition? So you just want to make sure it's in really good condition. And least but not last, again, this is not in any order. I think all 10 of these are very important things. But now, number 10, what kind of growth opportunities are there within your business? They are really going to want to know that is going to be in the information that we provide buyers after we pre-screen them and they've signed a confidentiality agreement. It's going to be conversations that me and my team are going to have with those buyers, but it's also going to be a conversation no matter how much we tell them about it. It's going to be one of the questions that they're going to be asking you directly as well, is what do you think the growth opportunities are? Obviously, the more growth opportunities that are available when they acquire the business, more appealing it is going to be for them to acquire your business. So, think of things of, not just adding other accounts and expanding your service area, but it can also be things like, additional services that you can offer, upgrades that you're doing with existing clients, add-ons, things like that. But you should have a well thought out plan on how you could grow the business if you wanted to, and how the buyer could grow that business as well. So there's a lot of different things buyers ask for, but these are the 10, and it was hard to come up with this list, but these are the 10 that I struck down as probably the 10 main components that a buyer looks at when they're looking at lawn or landscape business. There's obviously other things. I would love to chat with you. If you're thinking about selling your business in the near future, please reach out to me. We can have a confidential conversation. If you don't call me, make sure that if you are thinking about selling in the near future, that you do engage. Well, if it's not me, that it's somebody that is very experienced and seasoned as a business broker and somebody that specializes in the lawn and landscape industry. Well, hey, I appreciate you watching the video today. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.